Today we're going to be looking at the best meta strikers in FIFA 23. We're going to be going over the list of cheap, mid, and expensive. Number one on our list is going to be Openda. So we have got at the minute the 88 SBC, but he is rumoured to get another version, a second player of the month as we go forward into the next week, I believe. But that should be 89, 90 rated, so that one will obviously fall into this category as well. He is coming in, or was coming in, at 50,000 coins, and there is, well, he is technically still active until the 25th of May if you want to get him done. He has 50,000 coins like we said, and also he has got multiple versions if you do miss out on this one. He's got great pace, his shooting is normally pretty flaresome, passing wise is okay, especially for a striker, but I think the biggest thing for me that really kind of tests this card is if you whack a marksman on him, you not only get a boost in shooting, dribbling and physicality, he goes from an 88 striker overall into a 95, pretty much maxing out his finishing. Shot power goes up to 93, already has that max pace as well, and 98 strength. He just becomes a new lease of a striker, and most definitely one of the most boosted ones of a +7 in game. He's definitely one that I would say, as a very cheap option, is a must try and get. Are you tired of using players like this? I would much rather have teams more like this. Then I recommend going over to skycoach.gg for all of your coaching and coins needs. They are cheap, fast and reliable, but at the checkout make sure you are using code JT11 for a discount on your orders. Back to the video. Then we have Ben Yedder, again another card with multiple versions, and if you've missed out on obviously the player of the month 89, you have got the Centurions that is coming in at 52,000 coins. Not necessarily as impressive as an in-game boost of +7 of Openda, but most definitely Ben Yedder offers goals upon goals. Naturally, his just in-game is incredible. If you've used him over the past 3 to 4 years, we always look for his team of the season. I can imagine they will more than likely try a Moments, an SBC, a flashback for Ben Yedder during League and team of the season, which is a few weeks away, to be honest. But this guy is a striker that you must definitely have a go with, because he just is naturally very good in game. His body type always works. He's got the 5-star weak foot already with a 4-star skills. Shooting wise is normally pretty impeccable. You go with the Hunter on him as well. That always boosts everything up, becomes a 92 rated in game with 95 pace, 94 shooting. He naturally is a very good French Ligue 1 striker. Moving up the list a little bit, we've got 91 World Cup Voler. 200,000 coins now, getting a bit more expensive, but most definitely one that you should not stiffen your nose up about. It is a shame that he hasn't had an upgrade, because I do think the card is most definitely missing out on the 4-star skills. He is a 3-star, 4-star currently, and I can imagine as we go past team of the season, if we are not to see any team of the season heroes, icons or anything like that, more than likely we will see them in shapeshifters, which hopefully will come after the team of the season, which we've got a few weeks away, so we're not rushing ahead of ourselves. But in terms of a striker, he's still got the ability. He's got the pace, he's got the shooting, physicals down to a T, good amount of dribbling, and then a little bit of passing. It's the only thing he's really missing. But in general, he still can play, and especially if you're looking at a Serie A striker before we get into Serie A, especially team of the season, this guy's one to definitely look at. 93 in game, just on a basic. If you are to whack an engine on him, because obviously you'll get a bit more of that balance increased, you'd end up with 95 pace, as well as that being the dribbling, and a bit more on that passing. 96 finishing and 97 shot power. I don't really need to upgrade that. You're not going to notice a +3 by any means. Fluctuating in price is Harry Kane's team of the season. One that I think a lot of people either have tried out by now, or more than likely are going to give a go in the near future. Whether you get him in the premium Premier League upgrade yesterday, or obviously get him by the end of the week in rewards, he's a good striker. Very, very top end in terms of finishing. I would say in terms of goals, he's one of the best. Pace wise, it does take him a little bit to get go, which is the standard for any sort of striker that is more of the bulkier side. He's kind of like a Lewandowski. You've got to wait till the top end, because the 89, the 90, you need that pace increase. You need a little bit more from him. Obviously, he's gone from a gold card all the way to this team of the season of a 95. But the big thing is, he has a 22 pace increase. That is going to make a dramatic effect on any card. Doesn't necessarily make him always useful. You could see a silver go all the way up to a 94, and they're still useless. It has to have everything about him. And most definitely Kane, Agility-wise is the part that I think you've got to get used to. He's not just a certain striker that you can pump balls through and he can run after every single one. He may get a couple. He may get on the end of it, but most definitely that's not the play for him. Hold-up striker, maybe you go for an over-the-top ball, but it has to be absolutely perfect with the through ball as well. It can't be that you've got to wrestle with a defender every single step of the way, because 9 times out of 10 he will lose that race. When we've got Maldini, you've got Virgil, you've got the new Saliba, Ruben Diaz, Ramos, the list is endless for centre-backs. You're going to have to play a different sort of strategy with him, but if you can get him in front of goal, the finishing on him is sublime. Then we move on to Trophy Titans Diego Forlan. A beautiful striker. I loved his World Cup. I do think it was necessary that he got another upgrade. It may not be the biggest or just an extra +1, so you can argue between the two of them, but new sometimes always is better for a striker. Them extra little bit of stats may make millimeters of difference, but that is sometimes what you've got to have. Some strikers just need that extra little bit of juice, or the placebo effect of being better. Being 1 rating higher sometimes gives you that lease of life that he should be better than the 91. He most definitely is better than the 88, and that is just sometimes what happens. Some strikers go up a +1, they may even go a +2, and suddenly they feel incredible. And it may just literally be EA have nerfed the other card. I'm not saying that they have, but they could. They most definitely could. But Diego Forlan is an incredible striker. I always found him very pacey down the wing. Obviously, cutting in from that left side is an option. It's not my personal fan favourite of him, being 5'11", a little bit of strength on him. You can normally get past quite a few players. He's got the pace, the finishing's there, good amount of dribbling. I think he's absolutely worth every penny. He's just coming in over just about 200. Whether he fluctuates during, obviously, team of the season with endless amount of names coming through, it will be an interesting one to see, but another one that should be on your list. We then step it up massively from a 200k card to a 900k card. Dalglish, 5-star, Trophy Titans is impeccable. He is in my starting team, and he most definitely is worth every penny. If you're after a 5-5, icon, gets the ability, he's just amazing. His pace is brilliant, his shooting, his just ability, and I find with anybody normally over 600,000-700,000, they give you that option to sometimes just get a goal out of nothing. And I'm not saying that that is not down to the ability of the player as well. It obviously has something to do with it, but the players will always help. I guarantee you gave somebody at a high level and a low level the most incredible teams. You played them, they would play better if they had them incredible teams compared to the lowest of the lows. We give them a gold and a gold. It's just naturally how it works. The player will give you their expertise level, and then the actual players you're playing with will also give you theirs. If they can turn on a 2p, then obviously that is going to be way better than somebody who can't. And Dalglish is impeccable. I've always liked every version of him. I feel like this one is just the next step up for him. The best Dalglish we've seen, and most definitely a finisher in front of goal. Again, one that I personally would always recommend after packing him. He is brilliant. And I think a shout out just for the 5-star, Del P's got to be in there as well. A lot of heroes coming in this list, but Fantasy Foot hero Di Natale is mwah. Beautiful card. I loved his 88. Last year, we got an incredible shapeshifter from him. And this year, I'm so happy to see that Fantasy Foot because we went past World Cup. We went past, I think, Trophy Times was before, I want to say, or may have been after. But in general, I was waiting for this upgrade for Di Natale because it just never seemed like it was coming. And we now have a 90 rated Di Natale coming in at just under 1 million coins. He is fluctuating between 9 to 1.1. So get him on his good day if you can. But this guy as a Serie A striker is one of the best, especially until we do see the team of the season for Serie A. But as even then, I think this card is just naturally striker orientated, goal focused. He's very much like most of the strikers that we'll put at the top of the list. He just gets goals and it just works for him. I promise we will get back to some players very soon, but Eto'o is the next one with the World Cup vibes. The 4-star, 5-star, and it's normally the only reason I would go with a player that is the lower rating compared to his prime, but the difference in price from 500,000 coins for his prime to 1.1 for his World Cup is either a massive lack in demand or supply, in fact, for for one of them, or there is a demand for the other. And yes, the World Cup will have a lower supply. That's just natural. It's been out of packs for a while. And yes, prime, base, mid are still viable options. So if you don't necessarily have the 1.1 for his World Cup, then obviously his prime is still going to be very sufficient. You just won't have that 5-star weak foot. But Eto'o is what I call a pick-up play striker. He's very easy on everybody's playstyle. You want to put it to feet, yes, he may not have the strength ability, but he will still be able to pass it around with the best of them. You want a through ball over the top, he's got the pace for that. You want to throw him down the wing, still got the pace for that. You want a 1-2 with players, again, he can do absolutely everything, and at the end of the day, he will still get you goals, and that is why Eto'o has always escaped me from an icon pack. I'm yet to pack one of them. Hopefully in the coming years we will get one at some point, but he is just magnificent in front of goal, and Eto'o is always on any sort of striker list because he's so viable for everybody. He's got the play style that fits most of people playing FIFA. We then jump into the big boy. Team of the season, Haaland. A 6.1 million coin player, will fluctuate as we obviously had the Premier League guaranteed SBC, will have rewards, but I can't see him moving too much. There is a few versions from him. You obviously have the Team of the Year, which is a 96, which is about 4 million coins, the one to watch, which is a 91 at 361, and then finally you have a 90 and an 89, 100 and 218k, but it is the 97 we're focused on because if you've used him, if you've got a loan from obviously the Foundations pack, if you've managed to get him somehow, you know how good this striker is. He's not your typical build striker, and I think that is what makes him even more impressive in real life and in the game. He's a big old unit with decent dribbling, not necessarily the most incredible, but decent at the very, very best. Shooting wise, that is just an absolute joke. The pace mixed with the strength is a combination we very rarely see. Normally, it is somebody like an Ibra with the height of, well, Haaland's 6'5", which is an absolute joke in itself. A 4-star, 5-star, he is just an absolute machine going through on goal. He wins everything. In the air, on the floor, the strength battles, the aggression battles, he is a dominant striker. And if you can get somebody like, for instance, the next person we're going to speak about, then you are absolutely laughing in front of goal. And to be honest, you may as well quit whilst you're ahead, because I don't feel like there's going to be many better than this guy. After that short stint of an actual player, we go back to the heroes in Ginola, 92 rated. Again, there is very little to say other than if you have done the Premier League Cup this week, you know full well that you do not want to play against another Ginola and Haaland contribute pairing together, because most definitely they've been a lot of them, mine included. I have no better strikers. We have two loans. It is always going to be a Ginola and a Haaland. They are impeccable together. Obviously, Ginola, more of the leaner build. In terms of pace, is quicker in terms of the leanness of him. 6'1", so is still a pretty good height, to be honest. But both of them they really react to each other very, very well. They're both incredible at shooting. Haaland brings the muscle, the kind of factor. Ginola brings the skills, the dribbling, obviously the pace, which both of them have. And they just pair up really nicely. And it is more annoying than ever because both of them are coming in at just over 6 million coins. Between these two, 12 million coins are the pairing together. And the worst thing about that is our top one striker is worth more than both of them. But before we get to that, Mbappe has to be in this list. Gold, inform, 2 player of the months, a road to World Cup, plus a team of the tournament. This guy has got multiple versions that you can choose from. I'm personally using the gold 91 still, and he still gets goals. This guy does not quit. He is incredible in every sense, and the team of the year coming in at a whopping 13 million coins is crazy. He is an absolute joke in front of goal. Haaland is the big, blocky, very kind of forceful, dominant striker. Mbappe is rapid. The dribbling is impeccable. The finishing is just as good. But in general, the striker is the best in the game, especially in terms of players. I believe there is 2 that are unarguably the best 2. You could argue between one or the other, and it is down to player stance and what you think. But in terms of the best striker in game, I have my preference, but I can see there is arguments between the 2 that we're going to mention now. But Mbappe is, as you can imagine, godly. And he will be for probably the next few years by now. The highest rated gold card, and most definitely the most desired team of the year, and more than likely in a couple of weeks, team of the season. But that brings us on to number uno in the strikers. It is Trophy Titans R9. He at the minute is coming in at an extinct value of 19 million coins. I believe he is valued at 15 from what I can see here. He was last bought, well, there was one bought on the 10th of May, currently when we're recording. There was 3 bought on the 19th of May. So whether we can only buy them for 15 mil, even though on Futbin it says 19, I can imagine he would go for 19 still because he's outstanding. Even though there is not a single 99 overall stat on him, he has got the 99 finishing, he's got the body type of R9, he's a 5'5 Brazilian striker that is just scary to come up against. And he is like the top spot, the 6 million, the 10 million, the 19 million, all of them together are the best strikers in the game. If you could just get one of them, your game would be dramatically changed because people often kind of go towards them. It opens more space up for other players. I always find if I've managed to get a lone R9, for instance, into the team, players drift towards them because they know what they're capable of. It opens up all the space on the other side, and that is just naturally what these sort of players do. When you do come up against God Squad versus God Squad, if you both had R9, you both know what the deal is. He can make a goal out of thin air, and you wouldn't even question that it's possible from him because he is physically that good. From prime, from even base to start with is impeccable, but now mid, prime, Trophy Titans, every version of R9 is one of the best strikers in the game, and he's probably the only striker with a combined value of about 30 to 40 million across all cards at any point. He is just that good, and personally my favourite in FIFA 23, and to be honest, for the past 5 years, he is that good. And that's going to be the list for you today. So if you did enjoy, make sure you do like and subscribe. Any strikers that you want me to check out, leave in the comments down below. Check out a video on screen, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.